Guys, this weekend was the greatest weekend of my life.
And I'll be the first to say, if I may, you absolutely blew it away.
A few years ago, you guys were with me when Joe Coy asked me to do stand-up. And I was like, dude, I think I could do my first comedy show. Now it's like, oh, you hand me the mic and you want me to talk?
That's insane.
You know what I mean?
That's insane.
So I'm having a blast like a kid on stage. It was such a dream. I want to describe why it was the greatest weekend of my life when it comes to entertaining.
Like, what was it like stepping into the shoes as like a true comedian? What was that like?
I'm just playing, I don't fight, I do pray. I only go the way of Mr. Yahweh. Try to correct me, but I'm stuck in my own ways.
Why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
I don't believe I have hatred, I just put there is hatred.
Can we, before we start, can we talk about how beautiful Reed became? Look at this guy.
Reed,
Bro,
Thank
you're
you.
a
Thank you.
model,
Thank you.
dude. Like,
Thank you.
wow,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank you.
Wow, dude. Dude, a few distance from me and he became this beautiful, honestly.
I just had to step away to really find myself. You know?
What'd you say?
I just really had to step away to find myself. You know, you're not saying you were holding me back. I would never say that.
Wow. You know what? I grew too while you were gone.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Especially Shauna, though. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The Boys and Bell episode. It's been a minute.
Yes, welcome back, Reed.
Yeah,
Thank
dude.
you.
Raider.
I love you guys.
Guys,
Love you.
this weekend was the greatest weekend of my life. That's why we're doing this episode really quick. I have Alex Hormozy. We did an episode with him, hours long.
Yes.
Incredible episode. I cannot wait. And by the way, he's really funny. He even texted me this morning. Like, he kind of roasts me. I'll give you a little insight on that episode. He was nervous about the episode because I talk about things that he doesn't really talk about too much. And I was nervous about that episode because he's a phenomenal speaker. And also, I had an agenda when I got there. I really wanted to know him more than how the internet knows him. And so right off the rip, he was like, oh, I'm a little nervous. And I was like, oh, me too. So I got so excited. I was like, cool. Now that I both know that that's it, we'll just jump right into it. So my first question to him, Doc, right off the rip, I was like, all right, let's get into it. Money or power? Which one? And he was just like,
That's sick.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy. He was nervous because he's a powerhouse, dude.
Right? Yeah, he sat down, he was like,
That's-
I'm never nervous, but
Wow.
I'm nervous for this. Which I think is such a
Wow.
compliment, you know?
you know how I am with Kaveh?
Yeah.
That's immediately how I felt with him right
Really?
away.
He's Persian.
Obviously, he's nowhere near the love that I have for Kaveh. That's my
Yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
But me and him had like a really cool moment. In fact, we had a podcast for a few hours and then we stopped and then the cameras were off and then I got to even see a more vulnerable side to him. And he started roasting me and I was like, oh, he's like kind of funny too. And so I roasted him back. Yeah, he's jacked, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no, that was like, oh, we're rolling our sleeves up?
Yeah.
I was like, you guys are going to fight or something.
So as a joke, I turned to him, I said, I'll put these cameras back on. And he said, no, you won't. He goes, I'm ready.
Shut up.
And I'm like, there's no way. We hit like 2-3 hours.
3 hours, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you won't? And he's like, I will. We turn it back on, hours go on again. So, bro, like that episode was like lit. It was
Yeah.
full of so much wisdom. And I'm very, very excited about that. But then I couldn't review that episode or edit or get anything going with that episode because this weekend I had 4 stand-up shows.
Your first headlining shows.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. My family's in the background.
And I'll be the first to say, if I may, they were phenomenal. You knocked it out of the park. It was like 4 back-to-back. Each show had its own like special likeness that, you know what I mean? Its specialness to it. You absolutely blew it away.
Thank you.
No, I'm not just saying that.
A few years ago, you guys were with me when Joe Coy asked me to do stand-up. And when I left Impulsive, I couldn't do it because I was like focusing on this and making sure I'm getting married and all that stuff. So bits and pieces of my life was for stand-up. And then last year we had the Man on Water tour and I was supposed to do 10 minutes of comedy and it ended up always like almost every night doing an hour of comedy. And I was like, dude, I think I could do my first comedy show. And I'm not saying this to brag, but 4 shows had standing ovations. And I want to describe why it was the greatest weekend of my life when it comes to entertaining. My whole life, I've been always telling jokes and having fun, but it was such a dream that me and my family were all in this hotel room, like how we travel and do stuff. Those moments to me always meant the most, right? But now it's not us going on a podcast and me being really nervous and like, oh my God, like I'm interviewing this guy or like I got to make sure that I don't talk, you know? Now it's like, oh, you hand me the mic and you want me to talk?
That's insane.
You know what I mean?
That's insane.
So I'm having a blast like a kid on stage. Then I get off stage and I'm like, kind of like, I rinse my face. I'm talking to my family, I'm debriefing, and then like 30 minutes later, I'm jumping back on for a whole new room of people. And I'm doing that 2 nights in a row. But my favorite part of it was after the whole show, we all either Postmated or got room service, and we're all in this hotel room together, and we're just like talking about this. And I felt like, I know it sounds cheesy, but I felt like my whole life I've been waiting for that weekend. Like my whole life I was waiting for that weekend. And so, I don't know, I felt like I had a little bit more to say, but I just kind of wanted to just say I really appreciate everybody who's coming to these shows and watching this podcast. Like, I know a lot of people get on here and they're like, oh, you guys are making my dreams come true. But like, no, you guys really are making my dreams come true. Like, obviously it comes from the Lord. I always give gratitude to him. Without him, nothing is possible. But, you know, the meet and greets, you've seen me do meet and greets. Hours long. At the Man on Water tour, they were 3 hours each, and I was getting sick afterwards. So I was like, you know what? I'm not doing meet and greets anymore. Like, I'm just going to perform and then leave. Because as a businessman, I was like, it's not worth the money. Like, I'm not going to get sick. Then I won't be able to perform for the next audience. And that's where my mind went, right? And then I have a friend named Tina, Joe's Tina. And she goes, wow, that's unlike you. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I'm just in business mode, right? Like, I want to make sure I'm ready to pop. And she goes, yeah, but like, they love talking to you after the show. Like it
and you love
impacts them.
talking to them more than anything.
Yeah, and it impacts them. So each show, not only did I do a meet and greet, it was free, and I met everyone after the show. And bro, like people were showing me pictures of me and them when I like 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
Wow.
They were showing me that they were watching me as a kid. There was a kid that came from a different country, like India, and he was like, "Yo, I haven't like known any English, and I used to watch you and your friends growing up to learn English." And I'm like,
That's so cool.
this is insane. And so like when I'm performing in a room, reading comments is cool, but after the show, looking at them and really feeling the impact of it, all I'm saying is this weekend was the first one, but I cannot wait. I think this is the beginning of my life. Like if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
What was it like being, that's like your first weekend is like, you've had your comedian moments, but that's a comedian weekend. 4 shows, one show after the other. Like, that's a massive step, even though you went on tour, which is absolutely insane. But like, what was it like stepping into the shoes as like a true comedian? What was that like?
No, all my audience were very confused that I do comedy, which I found very funny. Logan would text me every day, do comedy, bro. Like, this is your life. Don't do anything else. Just do comedy. Kaveh said that since I was a kid. Joe Coy met me for 5 minutes and he put me on his stage. I felt like it was what God designed me to do. And not to get emotional, because I don't want to cry on this podcast anymore.
Anymore.
But when I was on Impulsive and I used to journal, I used to ask God, I was like, dude, I just want to travel the world with my wife and make people laugh so much. And just for that 1 hour, maybe that 2 hours, whatever the world is making them deal with, they forget about it because they're just in so much gratitude and laughing. And on top of that, I'm also pointing them to what makes me the happiest man, and it's Jesus. So I'm talking about these. And by the way, my comedy's not like a Christian comic. That's why like my callback was like, oh, you guys thought this was a Christian show. And they would just die of laughter. It was like me talking about smoking weed or how my dad raised me in the liquor store. But I'm always momentarily showing them what Jesus taught me in that moment. And I don't know, man, like I think God put me down here. And when we were working together a lot, I thought my job was to work for the Lord. But then I realized that every time I try to work, I ruined everything that he was building for me because my ego or my fear. And one day I just told the Lord, I go, you know what? I'm just going to focus on worshiping you and loving my neighbor, because every time I try to work, I'm rude to my neighbors or I get in the way of what you want me to do because I'm fearful. Like I caught myself so many times. Like, why did I just snap at that guy? Like, I didn't need to do that. And I just poorly reflected Jesus because I'm worried about me being backstage and doing this and that. So I gave it all up. And I said, you know what, Lord, like, that's it. My mind now is just worshiping you, and anybody who's around me that's your son or daughter, I'm going to make sure that I'm serving them and I can love them. And once I just focused on that, and I really, really pray that somebody hears me when I say this. He blessed me with the opportunity, the wisdom, the capability, the endurance, and all of the things that I could never work for. When I went on stage, I felt like I blacked out. And when I was done, everybody was standing on their feet clapping. And I'm not saying this to boast in any way, but there's comics that I have documented that I looked up to. Like, I'm not going to mention their names, but they can mention it if they want. But they said they've never seen a stand-up comic start this way. And I would love to take the glory of it. Like, yeah, look at me. I'm like really good. But I truly think I only was able to hold these capabilities because I realized really quick, all of my people that I look up to in this field of comics, they're addicts because they're broken humans making other people laugh. And I told the Lord, I don't want to break myself to lift everybody else because you already died for them. Why do I need to? And so I want to be the example of why I could have a great family in this industry. I could have good friends in this industry and like make sure that everybody knows that I'm actually doing it to serve them. I'm not trying to do this for money. And yeah, man, I haven't slept. Like I just been staring at the ceiling being like, I can't believe this is happening. Like I really can't. Like I'm more than grateful and I can't even figure out the words to put it in. Like I've already been grateful, but now like, dog, this economy hurts.
Yeah.
And these people are spending their money buying a ticket for me and standing outside. Like I'm blown away by that. Like
They need it.
I'm
We need it.
And the thing about this, bro, like afterwards I want to say like, hey, thank you so much for spending your money on me. And they're looking at me saying like, bro, there was people that bought multiple tickets to multiple shows because they loved this one. They wanted to watch this one and this one. And so I don't know, man. Like I don't want to come off like bragging, but I also wanted to make it very clear. I just started and I promise you, I will be one of the greatest comics to ever exist. Like I really feel it. Not off of my own strength, not off of me, not off of my skill set. Is because I'm determined to glorify Jesus, and I think he's going to lift me.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
That
And
makes sense.
I think what's so special too about your sets and your comedy is that it is so lighthearted, but you use your past experiences, you know, to like make fun of them and to make light of them. And then, as you said, showing like what God did in you. And so it's like people can relate to it. You can be either like having that relationship with God already or not have a relationship with God, and you're still going to find laughter in it. And you're also going to have like a good takeaway from it, which I think is something really special, you know. And certainly now, because most comedy is so dirty and so you know, that's just what adults find funny, I think. And so clean comedy is a special thing to be able to do. And so
And I just want to make it very clear, like it's not like clean, like they would never be able to tell these jokes at church. Like, you know what I mean? Like they would
Right.
never be able to, but I feel like that's
Church set when? When are you doing this?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do feel like, okay, this is how I picture myself in this field, right? I'm not going on and preaching, but I'm taking what God gave me and I'm trying to be fisher of men. Like, I want the guy who's smoking weed and maybe having a drug, maybe even it's cocaine. I made cocaine jokes about my dad, which circle back to that one. But like, I talk about these things about like, all these, I could tell like some of the Christian audience are like, whoa, like what the heck? But then I could see them get soft and laugh because they're realizing what I'm doing. And it's not because I'm trying to be raunchy, but I'm sharing things that the church is too afraid to share, but it's actually happening.
Right, it's
And
real stuff, yeah.
You know, and so my goal is to be fishers of men. Like I pray that one day when I kneel before God and, you know, we all chase the fact that God's like, oh, I'm pleased with you, come into the kingdom. But my brain's like, well, how would he be pleased with me? I'm not educated enough to preach the gospel at a level of a teacher, but I am dumb enough to tell some stupid, funny jokes. So in my brain, I was like, oh, I'm going to make you laugh, but I pray that while I'm making you laugh, that you walk out of this club being like, yo, that was really funny, but man, that made me think about things. Like, because that's how I felt like I watched Steve Harvey growing up, or even Michael Jackson, bro. Like I've been watching the Michael Jackson movie now nonstop. I've been listening to his music and I've been asking God, I'm like, I want to be like the Michael Jackson of comedy. Not the fact of like, yo, I want everybody to glorify me, but Michael had a mission. He didn't just make music to just be number one and be better than everybody. Like when he wrote music, he was trying to tell a story. He was trying to impact people. And now when I listen to art these days, everybody's so infatuated of being popular or being on the charts or being number one or being glorified and being their own God that they forgot about what the art was actually made for. David danced before God to please him. He sang before God to please him. But those dancing, I'm getting goosebumps. Those dancing and music impacted us to behave better for God as well.
Yeah.
So I just want, even if it's not, and I pray it always points back to Jesus, but even if you're not looking for Jesus, maybe you're stuck in an addiction, or maybe you're like dealing with something funny with your wife, or maybe there's a sex thing that your church or your partner or your friends won't talk to you about, but this one weird comedian with a microphone who's sweating way more than he should be is yelling at you and you're laughing. And my favorite thing is after the show, old people, young people, the whole family gathers together and they're like, yo, we all enjoyed this together.
That's special.
Man.
You know what it is good stand-up comedy, just like good movies and good music. It's storytelling, and you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
You just happen to be a really funny storyteller. So I think that's what makes you so special. That's what like Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., the biggest comedians, like when you really watch their sets, you're going on a journey. Yeah. It's not just jokes. It's like there's something to take away, but at the same time, we're like laughing at life.
Well said.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to take time to thank people. Not like I won an award, but like I want to
Stand up, bro. Come on.
No, I want to thank them for the opportunity of where I'm at right now.
Of course.
Yeah, like Joe Coy, like I don't think I've given enough credit to Joe Coy. Like, not only was Joe Coy in my house at 3:00 in the morning eating with me and my family, but he would make me watch my stand-up and he would pause it and say, what did you do wrong here? Why did you do this? If you do this again, I'll pull you off the stage.
Can you give an example of a moment you remember of him doing that?
Yeah.
And something you learned?
Yeah, one thing I'll never do. And it's so funny because now when I see comics doing it, I'm like, oh, dang, it is. So he says, the goal is to be as natural as humanly possible. When I see Joe Coy on stage, it's exactly how I see him off stage. And it's his comfortability. And praise God, he's given me 30 years of experience in just a few weeks. And one of the things he would do, he would pause. What did you do here? Let me give you an example. I was getting into my Chicago joke. This is an example. It's not a real thing. I'm getting hey, who's here from Chicago? Okay, that is because you're not doing well. And you want the audience to get really loud and exciting so you could feel like you're doing really well. And now you're going to jump back into it. It's called lazy reactions from the audience. And so he says, stop leaning on the audience. If you're going to lean on the audience, have some fun. That actually, I got so good at not leaning on the audience that in my show, I was doing improv with the audience. I wouldn't even let them speak. Before they could even speak, I was telling joke after joke after joke. So like, he taught me, like, don't lean on the audience. They didn't pay for them to help you with their jokes. They came here to be satisfied by the jokes that you gave them. Another thing that they told me to do is, I'm trying to think of, like, ones that make sense because there was a lot of thorough ones. Okay, this is a good one. I like this one. He would make me close my eyes while listening to my set and make me count each second between the laughs. He said, why did it take you 48 seconds from this joke to this joke to make people laugh?
Do you make you do push-ups? Like, get down, do push-ups.
Dude, every second
Boot
that
camp
you don't
with
make...
Joe Coy.
That's why when yesterday, like, somebody came up to me, they're like, bro, my face hurts, my sides hurts. Like, you didn't give us a moment not to laugh. And the first thing I thought about is like, praise God for Joe, bro. Like, Joe is the #1 selling comic to ever exist, bro. Him and Fluffy just shattered records, bro. And this guy's taking the time out of nowhere to sit on his couch with a kid that he's getting nothing out of this and sit there watching his shitty jokes and being like, okay, well, you know, why did you, my other one that hurt me? If I exaggerated a joke that wasn't real at all, he'd pause. He goes, why are you lying? And I was like, whoa, how did you know that one was a lie? He goes, because I could tell when you're coming from character to being George Janko.
Wow.
And he goes, people are paying to see George Janko, not this stupid character that you're displaying on stage.
Which that's such a good note because most people think like, oh, I got to make up a story. And it's like, you can always tell when it's fake.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's something ridiculous, you know, if like it's real.
Yeah.
You know?
And also it's like, that's not the comic that I want to be.
Yeah.
I want, like, when I die, to people to watch back my material, and I want my kids to know who I am through my material, or like my grandkids to know me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to be like, is that true? Is that not true? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I
100%.
want it to be like,
Yeah, actually, you know what? Ruslan, because Ruslan came to the show and he'd be like, did that really happen? I was like, yeah, it really happened. You know what I mean? Or even I showed it when you tell this one story and you have a photo of like what happened to you on the on the plane.
Yeah.
And so then after I showed him the photo, and Georgie, that's when he stayed for the second late show. He died laughing. He was like, no, because then that just brought even more. He's like, oh, you have to have a projector so you can show the photo. Like,
Your life is also just so ridiculous that you don't need to lie, bro.
Exactly.
It's unnecessary.
They already think I
It's
lie.
unnecessary.
They already think I
Yeah,
lie.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's yeah.
If you're lying, then you just
That's a
pack
slap
it
in the face. God's like, I gave you material.
Yeah. Facts. So true.
Ruslan he's a Christian creator, and he brought some friends that are also Christian creators. All these influencers that are in the Christian space, they're like, dude, it's such a blessing to have them because they're really not looking at me as a competition. They're looking at me like a brother doing something for the kingdom. And it's such a better feeling than being backstage with other entertainers that are kind of like, yeah, you're doing good, but I'm kind of better than you.
And they don't really want to laugh. They don't want to give you laughs.
Yes,
They don't want-
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
dude, it's so
he's good.
Yeah. So Ruslan brought like a few friends backstage, and during my tour, The Man on Water, I fell doing the meet and greet, and I tore the back of my leg, like on a thing, and so I haven't recovered it. And the first moment on stage, I do this Michael Jackson kick, and I felt like I retore it right in the grand
First show,
second.
first show of the four?
out of the four.
Yeah, smart. Made sense.
And I'm in so much pain, bro. I'm in so much pain. But I put on and I get off stage and my adrenaline's rushing, but I still feel the pain. That's how I knew. I was like, oh man, that's not good. I tell them backstage, and I'm a comic. So in my brain, I'm in comic mode. So I point to my butt and I'm like, oh, it's hurting. And immediately I'm like, oh, if these guys are comics, they're like, yeah, it's hurting back there. Was that from the stage? Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But they just all grabbed my shoulder. They're like, let's pray for his next performance. And I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
what? And they literally all gathered around me, put their hands on me, put their hands on my leg. And each one of them went in a row and prayed over me.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, how blessed am I to be in this, like, think about it, we're in Hollywood. We're in this entertainment field that everybody's like, oh, it's filthy, it's gross, it's dark. But my mom used to tell me, good, let it be dark. Go and brighten it up. You're the light and salt of the world. And now I have these other characters that the light of the salt of the world. So now this room is getting brighter. Then the audience is praying over me afterwards. They're like, hey, George, before I leave after the picture, can I pray over you and your wife? I'm like, thank you. So now I'm taking pictures and getting prayed on. And I'm like, God bless this environment. Like I could not be more happier. Me and my sister are leaving, and my sister says something to me that stuck with me. She goes, because Jessica's the operations. She meant if somebody sneezes, she'll know how much they're sneezing.
She runs the ship.
Everything, right? So she comes up to me afterwards, and she goes, George, I thank the managers. And the manager held me and said, no, thank you. And she goes, what did I do? She goes, your guys' audience that you guys brought here, all the waiters and all the people that were working, they were like, we've never enjoyed working more than with your audience.
Wow.
And then the manager comes
I got
up.
goosebumps when you said that, yeah.
The manager comes up and goes, this is the first time in my life I've never been yelled at. I was like, what? He goes, dude, the audience, if like we messed up, they'd be like, no worries, we're sorry. And they're like, usually people scream at us or like get really mad.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I had my first heckler, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Talk to me.
I had my first heckler. I don't want to get into it too much, but a
Come
drunk
on.
girl gets on stage. And they're like trying to pull her off. I don't want to say too much because I want people to.
You're going to post the clip?
100% posting that clip.
Clip to come.
I have so many clips I'm going to be posting from that show. And this is going to be my first time. And by the way, if you've ever bought a ticket to come watch me, let me tell you how much I love you. And I pray that you keep that ticket stub, because if you ever show me in the future, I'll probably give you a gift. And here's the reason why. Or a hug. Because last time I did that, like I said, I was going to give a gift to somebody. Somebody came up to me and goes, where's my gift? And I was like,
Like,
I got to be careful what I say. I'll give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And it's because you bought a ticket not knowing what you're coming to see. Like that's real love,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like the comic club and the theaters would always call me. They'd be like, hey, why does your audience not know what you're doing? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, they're calling us being like, can my kid come? What is this? What show is this? Like, what's going on?
That's rare.
Dog, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
That's crazy, bro.
they're just down. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're, what is it when a friend's just like a real one? Like they'll come for anything?
A day one.
A real, yeah, I guess just a real one. Yeah.
A real one, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a girl in the front row. We're also gonna clip this, but her name was Eileen, and bro, I was cracking on her the whole time, bro, because she was a little much, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to let you guys know, if I make fun of you, and you are being a little too much, and it seems for a second that I'm really hammering on you, just know that when I look at you, I see me. Because if you're sticking out in any type of way, in an annoying way or a loud way, I see me. Because that's me. So don't take it offensive.
But I kind of like it too when, obviously it's like you don't want to have a heckler that ruins your show, but I do like the spice. I was pumped. I like the
People go
spiciness.
to comedy shows, because something could happen.
Something was good. Who's going to say something crazy? I don't know,
It's the beauty of live. It's like live streaming.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to see that maybe go off balance a little bit.
Yeah.
It threw me off. Because dude, like, remember, I'm in performing mode, and there was because remember, I could tell that what I'm about to say is gonna really piss the room off because they're like coming for clean comedy, and then I take it this direction, but the joke is so good, thank God, God willing, that it brings them back to being soft. But she started getting mad and loud.
Oh, really? She was upset.
I thought in my brain. What she said during when she was drunk, and I never heard her, but she said it really loud. She said, "He's funny, but I'm tired," and she's like grabbing her stuff to get up.
Yeah, she's just
That's
drunk.
all I'm gonna say so far. But it was a lot more than that. And she gets on stage. But my brain went, "Wait, is what she's going through what I'm talking about?" Because even though she's drunk, I don't want what I'm talking about to affect her heart. So I had to take one quick second. You'll see in the video, like, I had to scan this.
He was literally, he just stopped everything. He heard her. He like saw her stand up and say something. He just like his whole body paused. And he was just like,
Analyzing.
So I'm holding the whole room, but I'm also this one woman that everybody wants me to come after. I got to make sure she's comfortable too. And so I look at her, and as soon as, you'll know in the clip, as soon as she takes it in this direction, I was like, ooh, mine, and I jump on it immediately. And it was really, really funny and really, really good. Well, I was sorry. Was I setting something up for that? Because I got lost in my train of thought.
No, I think you're just talking about your heckler experience.
Oh, yeah. So that was my first. Okay, so imagine this is my first weekend, my first heckler. And I don't know, man. Like, I know this sounds weird, but speaking about the gospel at GCU in front of 6,000 students or TPUSA at 8,000 people, when I'm talking about Jesus and the country and like where it's sitting, it's so much more serious for me that it took away all of my nerves being on stage telling jokes. Because over here, I'm trying to point the country in a better direction and point them to Jesus Christ. And I'm sweating, making sure that Jesus is like proud of what I'm saying. And I'm not taking one child of God in a different direction, right? But on comedy, I could always lean. I'm like, I was kidding. I didn't mean any of that. Like, it's jokes. You don't take things seriously at a comedy place.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, this is where I was getting at. I'm really happy. Oh my God, I really pray that somebody hears this, that needs to hear this. If you're not where you think you should be right now, be still and praise God that you're not there yet. Because if I was on stage even a year ago, even 2 years ago, the way that I'm doing it now, I wasn't the human being that God or me would be pleased with being on stage. I was swearing way too much. My mouth was way too filthy. My jokes were crude and about sex and drugs. And it was so not me because I was a tryhard and I didn't know who my character was because I thought I had to have a character on stage. What I'm saying is sometimes God doesn't open that door that you're trying to pull off its handle for you, not for against you, for you. So be still and start calculating what's going on. I came out here trying to be a musician. And then from there, I did social media. From there, I was doing skits. From there, I went to acting. From there, I went to podcasting. From there, I lost everything, had to start my own podcast. And then I went to do stand-up. And that's when I was like, oh my God, all those times I laid up at night crying, asking God why, was for me. So if you're in your journey right now and you're not understanding what's going on, dude, I wish I could go back in time, grab me and say, dude, just enjoy this. Just enjoy it, man. Don't try to chase the future because the stage afterwards is like 30 seconds of clapping while you're trying to rush to that. Enjoy the journey. Pick up the problems that you're working on and thank God that you have those problems now and not 10 years from now. Like, you know those videos where you see online and it's in the 90s and they have those nostalgic music and you're like, oh, if I could only go back in time right now. Right now, you're living in that moment. You're living in it right now. In 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, oh, I wish I could have done this.
Things
I
were
wish-
so simple.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. People say, "Oh, technology ruined everything." Technology's still growing. Enjoy now.
Yeah.
Enjoy now. In a few days, we're gonna have robots punching us in the face and being like, and then we'll look at each other like, "Remember when robots didn't exist?"
Yeah.
Like things always grow and adapt, and we're always looking for the future for our joy and our peace. But the present right now is where the joy and gifts are at. So,
Amen.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. So good.
all right. Well, I'm done bragging about myself. Now, can we get into other people?
High five.
Congratulations, bro.
Thanks, dude. Thank
Man,
you. Thank you.
What a journey. And you're
Journey.
still just at the beginning. How crazy is that?
I really do feel like it's day
How
one.
crazy is that?
I really do feel like it's day one. I know that sounds wild,
Yeah.
but I really, really do feel like it's day one, man. Like everything. Like after the show, I was just walking around crying, literally just crying, thanking Jesus for everything. I was even thanking Jesus for even the problems that I had with Logan. And I was like, bro, like people were coming up to me after the show and saying, "Oh man, Logan must be kicking himself." No, he wasn't. Logan was supporting me before anybody even knew he was supporting me. If it wasn't for Logan putting me on these stages, I wouldn't be on these stages. And so like, I feel like everybody's so quick to want to glorify themselves so they could point their finger at somebody else and be like, "Haha, I told you." But the truth is, like, bro, if it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like the teachers that I talk about on stage that really made me cry myself to sleep when I was a kid. If I could see them now, I'd kiss their hands. I'd kiss their feet. I'd be like, "Thank you." And they'll look at me like I'm crazy. But bro, I was wicked to you. I was evil to you. I'd be like, "No, the Lord let you be evil to me. He let you so that way I could be who I am. So when I get on these stages, I could talk to the children that are going through it and put them in a better situation." Dang. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
It's the crucifixion thing. And I try to teach this as much as I can. Whatever you're dealing with right now that you feel is killing you or it's the worst thing ever, dude, God could switch it to make it the greatest thing in the world. The crucifixion, worst thing in history, and at the same time, the greatest thing in history. That's how our God works, man. Like, and you know, it's so funny. I talk to people that I don't even believe in God, and I'll talk to them about trauma in their life. I'll be like, "Hey, would you go back in time and change that?" "Oh, no. That made me who I am." And it's like, all right, then why are you complaining about it, dude? You know, why are you so bitter about it? I'm sorry, I'm like ranting now.
No, but that's a true thing. And I think people easily fall into that. I don't think you even realize that you're being bitter or that you are complaining about it, you know? Because sometimes you feel like life like happened to you. You know what I mean? Instead of something that you are like going through. And so it's like a very easy thing to fall in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think we also have moments of clarity where we see like how things serve us, but I think just naturally our default survival mode is to like go back into that like all of these things are pushing down on me and that's why I am where I am. But we all have moments of clarity where it's like it's late at night at a party or something. Just little moments where it's like, this is all for a reason. This all happened for a reason. But then you're just such a reflective guy that's just like constantly reflecting no matter what, every moment of every day that you've just like overridden that default setting.
I pray it never goes away, man.
Yeah.
I pray that I never forget that I'm truly meaningless dirt without God's breath in me. Like this world, man, I sit down with people that are like, "You got to be like this and train like this and behave like this." And I'm like, dude, the gospel makes it very clear, bro. It's not about that. Because even that doesn't bring you peace. It doesn't bring you peace.
Right.
And so,
Joyce said that good when we were sitting down talking to her. And she said, she's like, God doesn't care if you're a lawyer or a doctor or if you're a nurse or a garbage man. She's like, he's not looking to see like the job that you're doing, like that better, like the bigger it is, the prouder he is of you. He's worried about what you're doing at that job. Like, how are you treating the people at that job? Like, where's your heart and where's your relationship with him?
Amen.
So, you know, but we measure like each other based off that.
Yeah.
Right?
and I just want kids to try this, man. Like, you go and pay people thousands of dollars. They jump on a phone with you and they tell you to work out harder, focus more, eat clean. And by the way, those are great things. And they're not bad things. They're just tools. But I want you to try this one thing. I want you to ask God for it. Because when people come up to me, they're like, "Bro, you worked so hard." I'll be like, "No, I didn't." There's a George Janko out there somewhere that worked 1,000 times harder than me and is 1,000 times more talented than me. But I look at the world and the world's like, "Work for it, achieve it, anything that." And then I read the gospel. It says, "Ask and you shall receive. If a man thinketh, a man becometh." So when I shake hands with Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart, and I see all these successful men, the way they're speaking about themselves, the way they're envisioning themselves, it's like, oh, that's what made them the hard worker in the first place.
Yeah. And everybody's different, so everybody's going to need a different remedy.
Yeah.
And so God's going to need to be the one to help you with that.
Amen. So check this out. Imagine what you just said. Everybody's different, right? That's why the gospel says, seek first the kingdom of God and all of its righteousness, and then the rest shall come. The reason why he describes it as the rest is because what you need is different from what I need, is different from what he needs. But God made it very clear. You chase him, I chase him, you chase him, well, all of us, we will prosper. Yes, you can, mother.
Also, you remember the small terrier and the big terrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remove sex from your pack only because sometimes the humans were not smart enough to look for what's better for us. So we're always holding on tight to things that they're not good for us, like drop it, because he has the best and better thing to hand to us. But we have to learn to trust him.
And you know what my mom used to do, and I want to bring this up because you're here now. My mom used to make me rejoice in my struggles. And that's such a powerful mindset that I pray that I teach my kids. My mom would not let me be a victim. Even in a funny way. Like, I'll bring up a funny way. If I come home, Mom, nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to be my friend. It's okay, George. You talk a lot. It's not in your head. It actually happens. You know, like, maybe fix it. You know what I mean? Like, but she would never let me be a victim. She would never let me be a victim.
It's a huge thing, yeah.
It's a huge thing, bro. Even her mom used to tell her, you're either a victim or a victor. You can't be either. You can't be both. Either. You can't be either.
You can't be either.
You can't be either.
So what are you gonna do?
Good luck.
But it's true. Like you have to choose one. And like God says, like it's not if you're gonna have trials and tribulations. It's when you have trials and tribulations, because that's when He teaches us, and that's when He molds us, and then we come out from it on the other side, and we've like learned more. We've gained a new perspective, and then we can grow, and then as you're saying, we can hold the things that are good for us.
And while you're going through this turbulence, like lock in and know your God. Stand on it with a smile on your face, because that right there is the moments when you're in heaven and there's going to be people that walk by you and be like, hey, you know, I found out about Jesus through your struggles. When I watched you go through what you were going through and how you behaved in it made me realize, oh, I could do that too if he could do that. Hey, what's your secret? I'd be like, hey, when my life's a mess, I realize that my life's not in my hands. I give it to the Lord. And so I realized that, okay, let me give you an example. I don't get blessed with the things of my life that I dream about because I worked hard. I get blessed when I behave in a way that God is pleased with. Because a man isn't blessed because of his work ethic. A man is blessed because he's favored by God. So I realized in my life when I get blessed in my career, wasn't because I just did an interview with Andrew Tate and it blew me up. It was because behind closed doors, I honored my mother and my father. And my Father in heaven goes, okay, now you could go ahead and talk to Andrew Tate. And now your career could explode. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like your intentions in a way. Like where was your heart? Where was your motive? What was your motive?
Perfect example. If I knew my wife was only with me because of diamonds and the luxurious things, I'm probably not going to give it to her because I want to see how she's going to behave without them.
Yeah, bad motive.
But if my wife is treating like jeans that I gave her that are $30, like they're designers, and she's so grateful, and she's like, oh my God, you bought me these. What's that going to make me do? That's going to make me want to put diamonds on her head because I'm like, my God, look, she's treating dirt like it's gold. What happens when I give her gold? That's how I feel like my Father in heaven behaves with me. And by the way, I want to make it very clear. I'm not sitting here and bragging over my career status. I'm bragging that I have a family that loves me and that God gave me the opportunity to have this career.
Yeah.
Let's make that very clear. I'm not bragging because of my position. I'm bragging because I'm not worthy of my position. I didn't earn this position. I want that to be said.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And actually, you know what? This convo made me think of something, and I don't know, we'll see. But just about how, you know, like everybody needs something different. And I've just noticed a lot recently online that there are a lot of, I've seen between girls, I'm not sure about guys, but I've seen a lot of girl Christian influencers that take each other's videos and they review them and then they kind of judge each other based on it. you know, like one Christian influencer takes a certain approach, right? A certain lifestyle approach to maybe minister in this way. And then another Christian girl influencer will see what she posted and been like, hey, this is like her routine and like, you know, or she's setting certain expectations. Like this is wrong. No. And then I see then other Christian influencers commenting in that video to defend and be like, hey, you didn't need to, you know, drag her into this. And you didn't need to play the video and make her look bad just to get your point across. And I kind of like think that that's really fair because maybe that's something, you know what I mean? Remember this, that what that person might need from God is going to be different than the other person. That person might need somebody who's really stern with the word. Maybe he's going to need a preacher that's really stern, really strong, you know, very like at it. And then some other person's going to need somebody who's really soft, very kind, very loving, and needs to know about the love of God.
Amen.
And so I think we all need different things
100%.
in order for it to click with us. So don't be so quick to condemn a different Christian influencer because they're taking a different approach at things, because maybe her interests are fitness and your interests are the fields, right? So let's not condemn each other, like certainly amongst Christians when,
You know, the Johnny Chang episode kind of changed my life because he said something to me. It was just so weird, dude. Because like in that episode, I was like, I feel like this kind of changed me, and it did. Like even you were like, dude, you kind of behaved differently.
it clicked.
Where he says, I used to act offended,
yeah.
and I was like, dude, that's the biggest falling on the sword for me.
What do you
Like,
mean? Act offended?
I got offended way too much.
Got
man.
it, just about
my
on a day-to-day.
behavior used to change on who's offending me and who's not offending me, and how I would monitor that. And then I was reading in Proverbs, and it really clicked with me. Jesus made it clear. He goes, "Only a fool is offended." And let me break this down.
That's a bar, bro.
Right?
That's a bar.
So check this out. I thought about this, right? Only a fool is offended. Now, I don't think Jesus is sitting there trying to disrespect, like, yeah, see that guy? He's stupid. He's offended. No. I think he meant like a fool, like who lacks wisdom. Because say, for example, somebody said something to offend me. I could then sit there and be offended and then attack him. Or I could be wise and say, okay, well, let me take myself out of this. Because now I put myself at the center of the universe, and I'm not. Jesus is. So let me take myself out. Why would he say that to me? Okay, maybe he gets talked to that way. Maybe he's dealing with something this way. Instead of now thinking about myself and how I feel and how I need this man to feel about me, I took a second. I took myself out of it. I reflected what's going on here. I'm growing wisdom on what's going on with this guy and how he's speaking to me. Then I take a moment and I ask God, hey, help me speak to this guy. He has a really hardened heart right now. Help me speak to him in a way that could get to him. And 99% of it is just if I give him the other cheek. So he says something to offend me, and then I go, like, for example, this is a hypothetical. He's like, yeah, well, this is why you're stupid because of this, and that. And I'm like, no, sir, that's not why I'm stupid. There's many reasons why I'm stupid. And then he'll look at me and be like, well, I just offended you, and then you leaned into it, made a joke, and tried to make me laugh. And then now it's going to make him posture and think, oh, man, like, did I just take out what I'm dealing with on this guy? And I've noticed that 99.9% of my problems that I've had in my workplace and in the field is not because of my surrounding. It's my reaction to the surrounding.
Totally.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I became a fool. I used to look back at that very, very famous clip, and everybody in the world commented back on it, where Logan goes, I think you're emotionally unintelligent. And I said, me, because I'm talking to Logan Paul. And I'm like, me? And 1 year after another year after another year, I would always turn to Bell and be like, oh, I'm starting to figure out what he meant by that. But at the time, I was so sure, this guy's stupid, bro. What are you talking about? Me? You and Mike are saying that about me? But look how pompous that sounds, just saying that out loud. But when I took a second, I reflected, God's like, yeah, you've been like that for a minute. And Logan is so intelligent to realize that. Is this the reason why he had a hard time understanding Jesus? Because he sees a man preaching Jesus but not reflecting Jesus. So was I actually doing more harm than good? So like these are things that I deal with now, and I'm reflecting now, and I'm like, oh. By the way, people are like, how could you be so comfortable exposing yourself like this in front of the camera? Because if I expose it, you can't. If I expose it now, you're gonna expose it to me later? Okay, great. Thanks for watching my podcast. What are you gonna do? Like, thanks for watching, dude.
You subscribed, right?
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks.
Hit that like and subscribe button,
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
Like, I danced naked before God, bro. I think that's why Adam and Eve at that time they covered themselves, is because immediately they were
Shamed.
they were feeling shame. But to me, I'm just out here like this.
Yeah.
What else could we fix?
Well, you want to learn your lessons now, and let's get through it.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to deal with the uncomfortability of learning your
Totally.
lessons because that involves pain.
Yeah.
But you're like, bring the pain on. Let's move on. And I think also it's because you have such an appetite for life. I think it's because you're so excited to get back to the good stuff. That you're like, let's get through this. Because I've like, as somebody with like a past of like mental health and like struggles through high school and stuff, it's like, it can be really easy to lay in your pain and be like, this is just the way it is. This is life. And that's okay. One day it'll be over. But you're like a guy that you want to be running in the fields playing basketball, like inviting all the kids out from their houses to come and play. Like you have such an appetite for life that like when you're not in it, you're like, let's get this over now.
Right.
And I think that's really, I'm sure that's really good for people to see because life is dope.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Dude, it really is.
Dude.
That's such a fair point though. Like
Yeah.
people like to stay in your pain because it's comfortable. It's
Yeah.
what you know. So if that's all you know, then it's more uncomfortable to try and get out of it than to stay in
1,000,000%.
it. You know?
Yeah.
I had a lot of pain that I didn't know about when I was a kid. Like, for example, I told this is a joke I always tell. In the neighborhood, when there was a birthday party and all the kids were allowed to go inside and eat cake, the neighborhood parents and friends made me sit outside on the curb while everybody was like eating. They just thought I was like not a good kid. And so they made me sit on the curb. And Belle would be like, yo, are you okay? Like, that's crazy. But
That's my heart, bro. Like imagine, okay? You see him? Little Georgie, like he's just so cute. Like you gotta put a picture or something, man. And he's sitting on the curb outside, just waiting, like on the curb, and everybody's inside in the birthday. That kills me, but
I wasn't like this though. Like,
I was going to ask when you were on that curb, what did you look like?
I grabbed things and played with them.
Yes, I literally was going to say, you're like,
Yeah, I grabbed things and played with them. And dude, I never liked cake. So in my brain, I wasn't like, I didn't see it as in like, oh, they're like, oh man, like I don't get cake. I was like,
cool.
yeah, I'm fine. Like I'll just sit out here and play.
I'll be here, guys.
But here's one thing that I want to say. And you said, oh, I'm excited about life. I do feel pain and I do feel these things. But there's a sermon that Jesus says on the Sermon on the Mount. He says, my peace that I give to you is above your understanding because the peace that I give to you is not from earth, it's from my kingdom of God. So when I was a little kid, I experienced a lot of bullying, a lot of resources. They put me on drugs. They put me in the mentally challenged class. They held me back. Did all these things that traumatized kids. But the whole time, as a child, I brought it to Jesus' feet and I said, okay, Jesus, mom says that you would heal me. I don't want to feel this pain. And guess what Jesus did? He made me not see it.
right.
He blinded my eyes to what other kids would find painful. He didn't let me see it. He would see the opportunity like, oh, they're just eating cake. I don't like cake anyways. Let me play with these rocks and see if I can hit these pole a million times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I truly think every time I brought my pain and my struggles to God, he healed me in a way that is above my understanding. And sometimes he removed understanding away from me or he gave me more understanding to me. So I am excited about life because I'm running around with the man who created it.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's crazy because you know what that is? It's all perspective. And God talks about giving you new eyes, right? Like when you are with Jesus, you are a new creation. So he literally gives you new perspective. And people throw that around because it's all about how you look at it. Man, that guy, he's a good guy, that guy.
And I just want to let you guys know, I just spent an hour talking about how I love my life. I love my family. I love my stand-up. I love that Reed is with us. I love that Belle's my wife. But none of this, even all of it together, not even for a second would I trade it for just 5 minutes speaking with God. Like, the love that he gives me, imagine he just gets up and leaves. I'm like, no, it's perspective. It's perspective. I really, man, I can't tell you enough, guys. Like, I'm not doing it for brownie points. And I actually find it very funny when people are like, you're doing this for views. I go, brother, I lost careers because of this.
Right.
Like, it's hilarious that you even think that way.
Yeah.
I do it because if God forbid I was sick and I was dying and this doctor came up to me and he says, hey, if you inject yourself with this, everything in your body is healed. And then I'm running through life and I'm seeing everybody sick. And he says, you have unlimited amount of this medicine. And you expect me not to run to you and say, bro, some of you guys, I'm not even telling, I'm just stabbing you with the medicine and just injecting you with it. Because some of you guys don't even want the medicine. So I have to shove it down your throats.
No.
I'm just joking. That was a joke. That was a terrible joke. But basically,
Unconsensual medication is very...
yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
rewind
dangerous.
that. Let me rewind
Yeah,
that.
you're doing really good.
No, actually, no, that's fair. I just
Oh man, Reed, it's good to have you, man.
Nah, it's good to be here. I love
so
you
good to have
guys.
you. Love
What?
you.
Okay, let's dream, dude.
Okay.
Okay, when we 4 years ago, 5 years ago, was it 5 years ago?
November 2020.
6
About
years
5.
ago.
No, about 5. Because it was
Almost.
the very end of 2020. So yeah, 5
Wow,
years.
that's-
5 years, half a decade.
Yeah.
We need to go back up to that beach. It's in Laguna.
Down to the beach because it's south of us. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
We
Belle
get
was
it all
there.
right?
You were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we do at this beach? We went to the beach.
It was when I brought my camera for the first time. And,
okay.
You're still filming with Justin. And
Yes.
there was
It wasn't the Justin birthday one, was it? No, that was
that was a different one.
no.
But you're still shooting with Justin. It's like, bring the camera. Let's just like shoot and see, we'll like just do a little test day.
Dude, it's so funny. The first day Reed was with us shooting, Justin set the expectations really nicely. Because he drops my camera.
The
And-
G Master lens.
Oh my God, dude.
the Sony G
Just
Master. If you're a
shattered
camera
it.
guy. God dang, dude.
And he just picks it up. He goes, "Oh man, I did this." I was like, "All right, dude, no problem. We'll figure it out."
Dude, the delivery was crazy. We were in the grocery store. We were in the produce section. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. The
This wasn't in the Laguna. This was in Malibu.
No,
No,
this is Laguna.
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, go
just
on.
one,
ever do that
just
again.
1 second, please.
Yeah, go on.
You got to talk to her, bro.
Sorry about her. Dude.
We were in the grocery store produce section. He had the camera, I think, like in where you put the baby.
Yeah, exactly. I can't
Yeah.
believe you remember
Yes.
this.
And he moved the car, and the camera just fell 4 feet. Lens shattered. This is like a $2,000 lens. And bro, I remember the way he
2,800,
delivered it.
but no one's
the
counting.
way he delivered it was like, dude, this happened. Like, that was it. And I was like, this is crazy. this is wild. I would cry. And yeah.
What was your reaction?
I just said it happens. I go, do we have something that we could shoot right now? While there's a tear just coming down my face. Bro, you know how long I saved for that lens?
Yeah, of course.
But what I didn't want to do is punch Justin in the face right in front of my new guy.
Right. You're like,
And then I literally just like my nose is starting to run because I'm just getting so frustrated. It's like going down my face. And I remember Reed looking at me and he was just like, "This guy's cool to work for, man. Like, this guy's pretty
I
nonchalant,
can
dude."
get away with a lot. No, every day was just a hurdle of different problems to overcome. Like, it was just the Wild West, bro. Every day, shooting pranks in public, like it was just a different time, man.
I
It was a different time.
remember Reed was I think it was the first day we went in to get a cake or something like that. And I was like, "All right, we're going to go record inside." He go, "Inside?" He goes, "There's people there." And I was like, "Yeah." And he doesn't even need the mask, but he put the mask on, so he doesn't get showed.
Put
And
up.
he's like, do we do this every day? Is this an everyday thing? You just go in front of people and do this? And I go,
Well, you film people without
Consent, yeah.
without their consent, and then if they get a little weirded out, then you have the conversation. But you just start with the camera in their face because it was YouTube. It's like,
yeah.
and that was I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It feels weird, bro.
Vlogging is a different thing.
It's different, man.
almost 6 years, and there's chapters that I feel like are seasons of our life.
Yeah.
Like my favorite one. Okay. You think of one of your favorite moments. Don't say it. You think one of your favorite chapters,
I have such a hard time doing that. Go on.
and I have one.
Moment or chapter? Those are
Chapters.
different. Okay.
Not moments, just like that.
Of that season?
Yeah, that season. Like there was one where I was like, man, I remember being in it and be like, oh, I'm gonna remember this for a long time. I really enjoy this. Like, do you have one yet or no?
I think I feel like on the last podcast we talked about this, and I said it was like the second season of the podcast when we were traveling all the time when we were doing like Tony. But I'm
talk
gonna give
about
a different answer.
Okay.
I would say just because there's so many insane memories. When you were on Impulsive and we were traveling all the time, that was just it was just like from a person that like my vacations growing up was like going camping and going hiking because like we just didn't have the money to travel to that degree and things like I've never went to Disneyland. Went to Disneyland with you for shoot, like it's just insane. But it was just like seeing the world and a world through like VIP tables and the most insane dinners in the world was just like unbelievable. It was just, it'll always be there.
Yeah, of course.
It'll always be there. Yeah.
I loved watching you just be around because, bro, you were such a different human being
Than everybody else.
Everybody, bro. Than everybody, bro. Even, like for example, my wedding. My favorite story about Reed is my wedding, dude. Like
Well, that's the one you have to bring up.
Yeah,
I
why?
do, because dog-
out of all the examples,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
It's
because
a
he's
movie.
because
Who
he's
does
humble,
that?
he's down to earth, and you're like the time that he got trashed.
No, because like in my brain, like who thinks like that? Even when at his
Yeah.
most
that's true. That's true.
unsober thought,
That's true.
his
We're
most
back on board.
unsober thought goes, "Hey, this is my friend's wedding. I don't want to ruin this. I don't know how I'm behaving. I'm gonna remove myself in the middle of the desert." By myself in the dark, and I literally the only way we could get to him is lightsabers, guys.
People are probably so confused right now.
Yeah.
on my
Through
wedding.
your storytelling. Yeah,
Reed
thank you.
doesn't drink and doesn't smoke at all. Like he's a good kid. He
That's not true.
I was trying to
Well,
build
at
you
that
up.
time, I was drinking a bit. Yeah.
And so he goes. I even have the video, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm smoking.
Very special.
It's my night. I don't drink, so I'm
Never
smoking.
post that.
And I give Reed the J.
I asked for the J.
Bro, he hits it, and I just like a cartoon. The J goes.
No,
And the ash
literally,
just
you can
falls
see
down
him burning.
like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. You know where he flicks the cigarette in his mouth, and catches it, shoots it, and it goes in one drag. And I was like,
Oh.
I go, Reed.
It was a really fun
And
night.
he goes, we'll see where that goes. So, like, I was like, oh my God. 10 minutes go by, and I'm like, has anyone seen Reed? Anyone? So me and Kaveh go on an adventure to try to find him. And we're in the front of the house, and it's pitch dark. And as a joke, Kaveh, or me, one of us goes, Reed, like this. And far away in the dark, you hear, I'm here. And me and Kaveh look at each other, we're like, what? So we go into the desert, and it's just him in like this, like crisscross applesauce. Like he's
Probably look like Rick
this.
Rubin. Yeah.
And I go, and by the way, guys, it's not like, oh, there could be a scorpion. There could be a snake. No. There's for sure.
100.
We see them all the time. And coyotes all over the time. And those little pigs, what are they called? Javelinas.
Yeah.
Like, this is the wild. We make jokes. I'm like, we don't live here. We live in their neighborhood. Like they don't live in ours. And so I look at him, and his eyes are closed. I go, Reed, there's scorpions everywhere. He goes, no, I get along with scorpions. It's fine.
Yeah, we were just talking about this morning. What did you?
Yeah, we were
yes,
talking about
did you
this.
hear
Yeah,
us?
yeah.
We were telling Google
but
this
it's bad
story.
that I bring it up, right? Like, we don't always think about
Well,
that,
no,
man.
it was just in the context of like all the people. I was so different than everybody else because everybody was so LA, and then I'm this like weird kid from the Pacific Northwest with long hair and like baggy clothes, and it's like, who's this kid?
You never
But-
changed. And it didn't matter
Yeah.
who was in front. It could be Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
It could be any famous athlete. It could be anybody. And it Reed just Reed. Just staring at him. They're like, I love Reed.
Yeah,
My favorite moments were the Tanner Fox stages
Yeah.
yeah.
because it was Bubba Town.
Shout out Tanner Fox.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out Tanner Fox.
Those were
Yeah.
really fun. We just like activitized to
Wow,
the max.
Very.
like that word.
That
was
it
sharp.
sounded wrong, but you said it with such confidence and it flowed off the tongue so well that we'll take
Activitize.
it. Yeah.
I like that.
Activitize.
Thank you.
It didn't sound as good when you said it.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
It's one of my
it's okay.
words. Yeah. But yeah, we definitely did that.
What about you?
To
Yeah.
the max
What's your
level, you
thing?
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a hard thing because it's like, I love the traveling. Like when we traveled for the podcast together
Mm-hmm.
and we went to different cities, that was so much fun. I love the Tanner Fox days because we activitized very hard, and I love doing that. I love having
good.
fun. You know what I mean? And then so that's just hard. What's another time of season that we've
What's
done?
okay here?
You know?
different. We'll switch it up for you.
All right.
What's you honestly are such a different person from the person that I first met when we were doing in the vlog days, for
Yeah, yeah,
instance.
yeah.
What's like a memory you have from the YouTube era, or because you guys were doing vlogs here all the time, like
Yeah.
every day this house there was something going on.
Yeah.
What's just a random memory that pops out to you of something either you didn't even have to enjoy it, but just something that
from that
jumps
time.
out? Yeah.
Gosh, we did so many things.
So
I
many
think
things.
The main thing is that what was fun about it is that even though for me personally, when I met George, I was like, vlogging is not my thing because it was the same thing, like doing weird, crazy stuff in front of other people or filming with strangers.
It's
you know,
uncomfortable.
Yeah, but then you get used to it, right?
She
But-
told me straight to my face. By the way.
You just took a master class in it because you met Logan Paul, and then you just did you went to the extreme of it.
Yeah. When I met him and he was like, I'm a vlogger, I was like, I do not know this world. And I was like, whoa, I don't know, man.
When he's a 10 and then tells you he's a vlogger, vlogger.
I wasn't a 10 either, dude. I started out from like
Yes,
a negative,
you were.
dude.
Yes, you were.
You were, bro.
Dude, it's so funny because Belle comes around, like her and her like beautiful model friends are like either, bro, like Belle's literally so beautiful. She's in Walgreens selling, like her face is selling makeup, and her friends are like on shows and she's on shows, and then I'm like, I do YouTube and I like prank people and stuff, and she's like, that's cute. I'm not a part of it. And I was like, all right.
I just didn't know anything about that world. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like normal then. It
Yeah.
wasn't as like widespread as it is now. You know. So there's that. But then, but then you get used to it. And then I think what was so cool about it is that we had to do something every day. So because he's doing the vlogs,
Yeah.
we did something every single
was
day.
Quote unquote work. You had to.
Yeah,
it was work.
it was work.
You had
And
you
we're
had to
having
do
fun.
something every day.
That psychologically broke me a little bit.
I
I'm
think.
not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
and I'm
think it
sure
probably
because
did,
the
yeah.
stress is on your neck to try and find something to do. But then on the other side of it, for like me, it's more so like you want to be a part of this and like have fun with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order to have the video come together. So what? Oh, did I say something?
I don't know.
No.
I'm just thinking on that era. I think it's so funny. Like I just picture George just like, I guess we have to like go give a bunch of presents to like strangers or something.
Bro, you're literally
Really?
right in my brain. Because, okay, first of all, just like time travel, I'm doing stand up and podcasting now. And because I don't have to wake up and talk to random people and scream on cars, I felt like I would turn to people. I'm like, am I lazy now? Am I not doing enough?
Yeah.
But then I remember clear as day the day that I was like, okay, I got to rack this up. I'm over this. It was the day that we went tree shopping to cut down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then we're like, we got to give this tree to somebody. And then we're driving by, and then these people were walking their dogs. I was like, you guys want a tree? We got a tree for you. And the guy's like, what? And then Ree's just sitting there looking at me, and Belle's just in the car like this. And I was like, I think I've officially ran out of ideas. Like, I have nothing else to do.
Why do I
is
feel
such
like
a
that video
good-
is still good though?
Yeah, probably. But that exact day is totally that pivotal day where we were like, I felt that too.
I
Like,
remember that
where it was
day.
kind of like, all right, we're run out.
And also trying to make like the most amount of moments from something so mundane.
Yeah.
It's like your performance mode doing just a daily activity, but you're
Yeah.
in performance mode the whole time. So it's like this is life, but also it's not life because it has to be exciting. And it's like
what about
it's
our
like you're on
commercials?
Those
are
that's
sick.
that's
We
nice.
shot
Yes.
amazing commercials.
I've been George needs to, and comment down below if you think that he should. I think he should.
I think we all participated in that. I did the writing, you did the shooting, you did the acting. When we all came together, I remember sending it to the brands. The brands like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? This is like
Those
a legit
commercials
commercial.
and then those intros that we did for a short while, those need to be compiled
Man.
into like a video. So people
Definitely.
can see. They're so good.
Yeah, the Euphoria
Scentbird?
one I remember
Yeah,
was insane.
love that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Euphoria one was sick. By the way, what happened to Euphoria? I never watched Euphoria.
I just watched the final episode last night.
So talk
Oh,
to me
you
about
did?
this because I never watched the show. I know she's like a drug addict or
yeah,
something like that.
Rue. So the star of the whole show is Zendaya.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, truly unbelievable.
She did a really good way of breaking out of Disney.
Yeah.
In a good theatrical and classy way. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't give enough flowers to the way that Tom and Zendaya they behave. They're so classy and not try hard.
It's so like not that it's less common in our age group.
It's old school.
It's like
acting.
Yes.
it's they operate like old school celebrities.
Yeah.
Totally.
And like it's really sweet. First 2 seasons of Euphoria, I just have a special connection to because I
Drugs.
watched them when I was really, really high. No, just kidding. I watched them. I watched them with my old roommates, like my best friends, when we all lived together, and it was like we watched it every week when it came out.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a commentary. There's lots of critiques about it, like romanticizing drugs or romanticizing sex. But if you really watch it, there's always a greater downfall to these substance uses than there is of the intake of them. So I think from an art form, like it is critiquing these things. First 2 seasons were, I think, unbelievable. It's interesting to see how it'll age, but the cinematography was like, I'd never seen cinematography like that. The sound design by Labyrinth, or I mean the scoring, the original music was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was just like
think
true
Drake
art.
did that.
He was a producer on
yeah.
it. So he like put money into it and probably took some form of like leadership, but he didn't make the music. Labyrinth did. He'd made original music. This last season, there was like a 4-year, might be more, I want to say 4-year gap between season 2 and season 3. Jacob Elordi, who's done Frankenstein, Saltburn. He's like turned into like an A-list actor.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney has.
Is that the guy with Margot Robbie?
Yeah, that
Yes.
new one. Yeah.
Yep. Wuthering Heights. Then
So he
Sydney
crushed it after that show.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Sweeney,
a lot of people.
Yeah.
both of
Yes.
them.
Yep. Sydney Sweeney like just turned into an A-lister. And since then, this new season came out, and episode 1, it's just a shell of what it used to be.
Oh, really?
Like even the performances, like Jacob Elordi, like you're watching it, and it's like, this guy is checked out.
He doesn't
bro.
wanna be there?
He does
Oh, really?
not. Like this is contract. He has to shoot this right now.
no.
Zendaya crushed it. Zendaya the whole time, just like crushing. And
always
honestly,
good.
I will give flowers also to Sydney Sweeney. I've never been the biggest fan of her, and I think she gets a lot of critique that it's like, oh, she just has big couple of things, and she's not a good actor. Bro, this season she carried it. To be honest, she
Really?
crushed it.
Yeah. She's good. She's really good.
Yeah, but it just was a shell. It was a shell
Did you
of what
watch
it used
all
to
of them
be.
yet or no?
Yeah, the last episode was last night. The season finale.
I saw people talking about it online, and I was just like, "Whoa, what?" It felt like it gave me Grand Theft Auto vibes. I only watched the trailers though and stuff. So
anything can happen.
I can't watch
At least
stuff
in the
like
first
that
2
anymore.
seasons. This one was just
I
like,
get too anxious, dude. Like I don't. Because I like jumping into the story and really feeling it out.
yeah.
Dude, watching like what people are putting themselves through these things, I was
Yeah.
like, I watched like I remember tweeting and be like, I can't handle this. Like, I can't handle it.
Yeah, I
watched Just Go With It for the 9th time last night. I was like,
was
I'm
good.
staying here, dude.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons, and yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the new season because I guess 2 Labyrinth is not doing the music right
Nope.
for the third
and
one.
there was some big like drama about it. I think it was like a
Yeah.
last minute decision that they like kicked him off. He went on Twitter and like ranted about how it's like you work so hard for all these people, then you don't get what you're worth or something like
Right,
that. So I
right.
think it was rescored at the last minute too.
Oh wait.
So all of the music
was it
is different?
money related?
Not sure.
Because the way
Don't
you
know.
just framed it like that seems
It
like
seemed like it could have been, or credit. Maybe he wasn't getting the
Maybe.
credit he deserved or something. But he was a major reason that it was like the
Right.
DNA of the show.
Yeah,
the
like I saw
cinematography,
people-
the music,
Yeah.
just as much as the actors.
Totally. Yeah, like I saw a lot of people's like reaction online where they were like, "Oh, if Lambert is not doing the music, that's everybody loves the music from Euphoria, and it sets
who's
the
Lambert?
scene."
Who's this guy?
Labyrinth.
You
Who's
know
this
his
guy?
music.
He's an actual artist, or
Yes,
like a
he's an
guy who does
artist.
just movies?
No, he's a. It's a good question.
Does he have any
blew
music
up.
that I would know?
Here, yeah, here.
Probably
But he's like a John Bellion, where he produces other things, but he also does stuff for himself.
yes,
Did you hear that they actually stole their look from somebody?
yes. I saw that.
what are you talking about?
I think it was a photographer.
Yes.
What are you guys talking about?
There's like a post and like an accusation that somebody who's a. Actually, I don't even know if I want to talk about it because I don't know enough. But there's like a photographer that has a very distinct atmosphere and like artistic approach to capturing scenes with the lighting and the subject matter, and it's like a direct copy of the way Euphoria.
Well, they hired her, so she's young and was new.
They hired her?
They hired her.
I did not
she
know that
started
part.
working on the show, so pretty much the look that Euphoria has. Okay, so
It's a very distinct look.
She created that look. This is all allegedly because again, like this is something I saw online, so allegedly, but. She created the look of Euphoria. They did it. They took it and they said, okay, you know what? Actually, like we're gonna be. They said, oh, you're too young. Like, we're sorry, you're just too young to be like work on a show or whatever. And so then they let her go, and then they took everything that she created, and that's the look of Euphoria.
If you know more about this, comment it down so we can.
Yo,
learn.
bro, if that's true, we need to get to the bottom of it because that's not okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Sam Levinson, the creator, is a pretty. He's a controversial director. He is.
No, I don't care who he
he's-
is.
yeah.
I don't at all. But if you stole somebody that's working to get to where you're at in life,
Especially somebody younger.
dog, that's some. Okay, by the way, we don't know anything about this, but if that is true, we need to figure this out and make it go viral so that woman can at least walk away with the credibility of creating such an art piece.
It's blown up. It's popular.
That imagine how
Yeah.
devastating that would be.
Right.
If everybody in the world is talking about how beautiful an art piece is and it's not even there. And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention who it is, but I've witnessed big artists going online and purposely stealing people's work. And I say, yo, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And they looked at me and they go, to be an artist, he goes, you have to steal like an artist or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then they had this lame idea where it's like, you can't reinvent the wheel. I'm like, dog, there's the term not reinventing the wheel and then just theft. Like you just
Copy
stole.
paste.
Right.
Yeah, that's not okay, dude.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
That's why I don't watch
versus-
comedy that much, because it's such a big thing in comedy that when you're in a flow state, you accidentally lean on something that you've seen or heard, and you're like, oh man, I accidentally took some like not a joke, but even the delivery or even the posture of how you're standing.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to accidentally do it, but if you're blatantly hiring somebody and just going, oh, by the way, we don't want you anymore, see you later.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, hey,
I'm gonna
dude,
keep that.
I like your art and it's not yours. That's lame, dude.
For specified, curated, like look.
If
Her
that's-
life.
If that's
Yeah.
true, I'm going to find out who did it and I'm going to steal their work.
Smart.
There it is.
Smart. Eye for an eye makes
Eye for an
the
eye. That's
whole-
always the way to go about
Yes.
it. That's
Yes.
always.
This is what I've heard.
Be offended. That's how I always tell people. Be offended.
Yeah,
We've
man.
fallen so far back.
Well, guys, I love you. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I wanted to make sure that this episode is a little bit shorter because we have to edit it and post it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. And don't forget, we have an Alex Hermosi episode that is in. Look at Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy?
That's your dog, bro.
Tommy.
You really chose that one, huh?
Yeah.
Good choice.
He's the best.
I still have ADD.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Oh
guys.
yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Thank you. And thank you, Reed. Thank you.